Hey guys, this week we dive into why NASA wants to study global dust, the snaps and pops of the ocean, how scientists managed to make agro-mutant hamsters, Douglas Murray's take on how we talk about monkeypox, and John McWhorter's thoughts on gun violence in the US. What's coarse and rough and irritating and just gets everywhere? Dust! And yeah, sand too. More than just a nightmare for people with allergies, dust can influence the weather, hasten snowmelt, and fertilize plants on land and in the ocean. Did you know that particles from North Africa can travel around the globe to spark phytoplankton blooms? That's nothing to sneeze at, and NASA's taking it very seriously. Next month, they're launching the Earth's Surface Mineral Dust Source Investigation Mission, EMIT for short, to investigate how these drifting intercontinental dusts affect the Earth. Right now, we don't know if mineral dust heats or cools the planet, and as climate change creates more arid dust-forming regions, we really need to understand how it's going to impact our future. EMIT will attach to the ISS and use its imaging spectrometer to measure light across hundreds of wavelengths, helping us dive deeper into the mineral composition of large dust plumes and better prepare for our changing climate. If you're a fan of rice bubbles, you're gonna love this. You know the popping sound you hear when you pour milk over puffed rice? They're pretty close to what you hear when you stick your head in the ocean. Those clicks and clacks are fish chatting, fins moving, mollusks dragging themselves around. They're the incredible sounds of submarine life. And now oceanographers say that monitoring these sounds can be a non-intrusive, inexpensive, and efficient way of tracking the health of coral reef systems. Basically, the more noise, the better, as degraded coral communities don't sound as vibrant as healthy ones. Reduced biodiversity means less activity. For example, macroalgae creates bubbles of oxygen that float to the surface and pop, making a specific high-frequency sound that scientists can look for. As Lauren Freeman, senior oceanographer at the Naval Undersea Warfare Center, said, soundscaping gives us this really nice heartbeat of what's going on in the reef, and hopefully they'll sound more like symphonies in years to come. Scientists in the US have created overly aggressive mutant hamsters. Researchers at Northwestern University were examining a hormone called vasopressin and its receptor AVPR1A, and Syrian hamsters were used as their subjects. Their understanding was that AVPR1A regulates things like teamwork and friendship, as well as dominance and bonding. So they used CRISPR-Tech to remove the receptor, thinking it would increase bonding and cooperation between the lovable rodents. They fucked up. All the hamsters, regardless of genotype or sex, exhibited aggressive behavior, including chasing, biting, and pinning. I think Professor Albert, a member of the research team, sums the situation up best by saying, "We don't understand this system as well as we thought we did." Ian Malcolm would be enraged by this. Douglas Murray has penned a remuneration on how members of our species can't seem to stop fucking other animals and how facts are being tiptoed around. That piece got us wondering, what's the best way to present facts when they could be used to discriminate? According to the WHO, based on currently available information, monkeypox cases have mainly, but not exclusively, been identified amongst men who have sex with men. Douglas is critical of celebrity GPs and WHO officials who've said this isn't a gay disease for what he considers fear of cries of homophobia or accusations of shaming. He says, there's a fear of identifying any particular at-risk group due to worries that the public will instantly turn on them. I would like to think that in societies like ours, we might be honest about the spread of a virus and able to avoid pogroms. What do you think? Do you agree with Douglas, or do you think that being careful with language around this disease is well needed? We are facing the reign of a pitiless, self-centered cynicism thriving in the face of innocence being mowed down with regularity. That's what John McWhorter had to say in his latest piece for The New Yorker. He takes aim at how pro-gun advocates interpret the right of the people to keep and bear arms, saying that it's an idiom not meant to be taken literally but within context, and that there's a heartlessness to insist that this line translates to allowing all sane adult citizens to possess weapons that can kill dozens within minutes. He also presses on the fact that so much of the US's dialogue is focused on political correctness, while most Americans want some kind of gun reform, instead of revolutionizing attitudes on privilege, bias, inequality, and the vocabulary. It's a read that raises questions like, will the US ever see true gun reform, and is there enough room for many important conversations about racism, environmentalism, gun violence, and more to be had meaningfully at the same time? Let us know your thoughts in those comments. That's all for this week, guys. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter for specials on our upcoming tours, Thinking Academy courses, and more. Just head over to that link in our bio and visit thinkinc.org to join. See you next week.